What is the worst thing your teacher has ever said in front of a class? During English class we were watching Tomorrow When the War Began. Those of you who have seen the movie know they start the movie talking about sex. The teacher goes, "Sex is not that great, I have actually not had sex." He's a full 30-year-old man and says that to a bunch of 13 to 14-year-olds. Those were the days. At least half of you will be dead by the time you reach 20 years old. To a class of 11-year-olds. I once had a teacher, between 4th to 6th grade, not sure, say that about 1/4 of us would die before the end of high school, statistically speaking. Freshman year in high school, a classmate called someone a chobe in gym class. The gym teacher asked him what that means, and the student explained, "A chobe is a good student." Next day, the teacher welcomed the class by saying, "Good morning, chobes." Honestly, at 13-14s that's about as funny as it gets. We had a sub in my school district called Mr. W. No last name, just W. Of course the rumor was that his name was Wieners. And of course it was also rumored that his first name was Harry. It was probably something a lot less exciting, like a complicated Polish name kids couldn't pronounce if they saw it. The father of a classmate died in a motorcycle accident. He went into a corner too fast and crashed into a tree. A couple of days after the accident, which was the first day my classmate went to school again, our physics teacher decided that it is a good moment to teach the speed doesn't kill you, acceleration does lesson. With the example of a motorcycle driving into a tree. During 1 year of high school in a bio class, the students were fooling around in class not doing their work, and the young, had to be in her late 20s, professor yelled, "You all stop jerking off," then turned red as she realized what she had just said. You can only imagine how that went in a room full of 16 to 17-year-olds. Lol. Yeah, I had a Spanish teacher who was either extremely inappropriate or extremely oblivious. With him, it is legitimately hard to tell. He may actually not have known. He was talking about how you make flan one day, and how you take the ingredients, mix them together, then you beat it, along with a hand motion. The boys in class thought this was hilarious, so they would continually ask him how to make flan, so he would tell them. Honestly, he could have just been completely oblivious and was thinking, "Hey, the students are smiling, cool, I'm a good teacher." My family had had to deal with his teaching for decades, so we know he never learned a thing about students. He told our whole English class quite seriously that for his 30th birthday, he wanted 2 15-year-old girls to sit on his lap, and he even named them. I don't know what he was telling us for, maybe he thought we would pressure them into doing it or something. New year, new teacher, and his introduction was, "If you are loud I will hit you with the chalk." We all thought it was very funny, but the next day we learned what doom was because he never missed. I had a prof that had given us an in-class assignment. He was a shitty teacher and we were first-year students, so we didn't finish it, and he told us to take it home and finish it, and when we were done to bring to me. Bring it to daddy. He was Greek and didn't know the context, but he was the head of the department, so we all held back our giggles and left. She read out my name and looks at me and says, "Your parents named you this? Are you willing to say your name?" "It's Nalashma." I once had a substitute teacher for my health class, and he went on this long rant about how rape can be justified. So many people complained about him. I am very curious as to what justification he came up with. What is it about substitute health teachers? I had one in middle school that gave the students a weekly assignment to work out and measure certain parts of their bodies. The girls all had breasts, waists, thighs, and butts on their lists, while the guys had close to nothing. It was creepy as shit and a ton of parents complained about him as well. I had an art teacher that got caught drinking. Apparently someone from the previous period told on her. The vice principal came into our class and told her to come with him. We all heard her yell, "They drove me to drink" from the hallway. One of the art teachers at my high school openly talked about drinking in class and dared the administration to fire him. "I'm not here because I need the money, I'm here because I enjoy it. This is how I keep enjoying it." She ate dog food when pregnant because she was craving it, and a doctor said it was okay too. She would stick pins in her baby brother's feet to make him cry. When the brother was older and wanted to play, she would lock him in the sewers. That the Virgin Mary was called that because she wasn't married. Nothing to do with not having had sex, apparently. She was our religious studies teacher. Worst thing and also best thing. History class. Kid punches the kid in front of him in the back of the head. Teacher sees this and says, now he's gonna punch you in the head, and you're all gonna sit there and watch because there's nothing you can do about it. A punch for a punch leaves the whole world conquest. The morning after parents' night, boy in the class was talking over the lesson for the 100th time that term, and the teacher says, Johnny, this is exactly what I was saying to your mom last night. The class burst into laughter, the teacher went red at the implication, and Johnny didn't talk over the lesson anymore. Bio teacher was talking to us about sex, and a girl asked where the pleasure points are. Girl's a bit ballsy, but the teacher didn't hesitate to answer. She said that the female only feels pleasure 2 inches into the vagina, then looked at me and said, so, Mo, you're 2 inches in the clear bud. The difference between my teacher and yours is that mine meant what she was saying. Said that all we had to do to understand a reading was to try harder. This immediately after someone who was visually impaired told her that no accommodations had been provided, so trying harder was kind of out of the realm of possibility. We all lost a lot of respect for that teacher that night. My elementary school PE gym teacher would turn girls upside down if they were wearing a skirt or a dress. I told my teacher about it and nothing happened. I told my parents about it and nothing happened. I called him out one day in front of the entire class for being a creep, and I got detention for being disrespectful. I was in 2nd grade. Had an English sub. He was clearly in a hungover state, taking naps on an hourly basis. When he is awake, he's not being a good teacher. He would cuss openly in front of the class, ask us what we were doing, we didn't know, and one time he was hitting on some freshman girl loud enough for his flirts to be heard by the whole class. He was later removed for unknown reasons. Yeah, I had a Spanish teacher who was either extremely inappropriate or extremely oblivious. With him, it is legitimately hard to tell. He may actually not have known. He was talking about how you make flan one day, and how you take the ingredients, mix them together, then you beat it, along with a hand motion. The boys in class thought this was hilarious, so they would continually ask him how to make flan, so he would tell them. Honestly, he could have just been completely oblivious and was thinking, hey, the students are smiling, cool, I'm a good teacher. My family had had to deal with his teaching for decades, so we know he never learned a thing about students.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos.